Hey, what's going on, guys? This is For Those Who Died, coming to you with a PvP build video for the Magic of Dragonite. This build is basically for the Morrowind patch. When I built this build, I was taking into consideration the no CP campaigns such as Battlegrounds, Alexia, things like that. So it is very versatile. You can use it in no CP campaigns, and you can also use it in the CP campaigns. It works just as good. It is a very, very tanky build. You are going to be extremely hard to kill in this build. It does do a lot of damage, very high put damage in this build. The only weakness about this build is the stamina. You do lack in stamina, so being CC'd repeatedly over and over again is going to cost you a lot of stamina to break out and things like that. But I'm going to show you different ways, different tactics that I use to stop the person from casting, so that way I can get out the way and get my stamina back. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get to the build. So the first thing I want to show you is my weapons. So the first set that I am wearing is Burning Spellweave. If you guys don't know what that does, it gives you max magicka, it gives you spell damage, it gives you spell crit. And when you deal damage with a flame ability, you have a 50% chance to apply the burning status effect onto the enemy and increase your spell damage by 507 for 8 seconds. This effect can occur once every 12 seconds. Now, if you don't have Burning Spellweave, you can switch it out for the Sunset. The Sunset actually works a lot better in the CP campaigns, but in the non-CP campaigns, Burning Spellweave works a lot better. But as a Dragon Knight, it is very easy to apply the Burning Status effect onto the NPC, so you can actually have this 507 spell damage on your bar constantly, over and over again, as a Dragon Knight. It is a lot harder with other races, but as a Dragon Knight, your main key is fire ability, so it is very easy to keep this procced. So I do have a dagger. I have a weapon and spell damage enchantment on it, and it is sharpened. Now, in order to proc this weapon damage enchantment, you have to do light attacks in between your casting. So light attack, cast, and that's going to give you a better chance of proccing the weapon and spell damage enchantment that you have on your weapon. It is sharpened. You can use a dagger, you can use a sword, you can use an axe, it doesn't matter as long as it's sharpened, okay guys? Let's go ahead and go to the shield. So the shield, it took me a very long time to farm, guys, so good luck with that. I have a stamina enchantment on there just because the lack of stamina with this build, it is going to help you. And I also have well fitted. I would get it reinforced instead of well fitted, or sturdy instead of well fitted. So sturdy or reinforced would work fine, but reinforced is the best one to have. So let's go ahead and go to the back bar. I have a restoration staff on the back bar with a poison on it. You can use any kind of restoration staff as long as it is defending. So if you have a maelstrom staff that's defending, a master staff that's defending, that would be perfect to put here. Because you don't need a set staff to put here. It just doesn't really matter. As long as you have a defending trait on it, it's perfect. I wouldn't put this poison on here. I would probably put the other poison that gives you back magicka as you light attack. So as you're light attacking with your restoration staff, which is basically what you're going to be using it for, you're going to be heavy attacking. You're going to be heavy attacking with your restoration staff to get your magicka back. It's really good to use the restoration staff because if you use the flame staff, you have a chance to shoot a projectile at the enemy, and if they're a Dragon Knight, they can just shoot that projectile right back at you. So it is good to have the restoration staff because it's not going to shoot out a projectile that can bounce back at you. So it's really good to have that. Remember, defending is the best trait to have in the back bar. So that's that. Let's go ahead and go to the monster helmet, which is Graftar. It is sturdy with a magic enchantment on here. If you guys don't know what Graftar does, it's going to add a little bit magicka to your abilities. It's going to add mass magicka, and when you deal damage, you have a 10% chance to create lava pools that swirl around you, dealing 2,620 flame damage to all enemies within 8 meters of you every 1 second for 5 seconds. This effect can occur once every 10 seconds. Now, the reason why I like Graftar better than Balkanscoria, better than Bloodspawn, is the fact that Graftar, when it procs, it puts this AoE around you. And it's kind of like Eye of the Storm. It stays on you no matter where you go. So you run around and you have this AoE around you. And it's really good because it doesn't matter where the enemy is. He could be behind you, right of you, left of you, in front of you. He's going to get attacked. He's going to get hit. So it's going to be constant damage on him. So if he's trying to run away and you're running alongside with him, he's still getting damage. like no matter what. So that's why I really like it. It is also good for 1vxing, but Blood Spawn will probably be a good option if you don't have Graftar, and Valken Scoria will also be a good option. I actually have Blood Spawn, Valken Scoria on the back just in case I need to switch it out for different scenarios. So I hope I'm saying this right. Kraganax Hope. I hope I'm saying that right. Kraganax Hope. Let's just go with that. So I have a multi-effect enchantment on here and it's impenetrable. Now Kraganax Hope is a 9-trait set. So you are going to have 9 traits, which is really hard to get, but I'm pretty sure you can find a master crafter that can craft this for you. So the reason why I use a crafted set is because you can pick every single trait for the crafted set. That's one of the main reasons why I use this set. And the other reason why I used it is because it's going to give you max magicka back. It's going to give you magicka recovery back. It's also going to give you max health back. But it decreases the time it takes to resurrect an ally by 25%. Now this is so helpful when you're running in a group in Citadel or Imperial City Sewers or anything like that. It is so helpful. So just say like one of your teammates just got Zerg down. The Zerg is still there. You're in hiding. You're waiting for the Zerg to pass, but they're not leaving, right? They're just basically roaming around the area. You can wait for your perfect opportunity to go and resurrect your ally, and it's extremely fast. As soon as you're extremely fast, and then it does restore 1,660 magicka to you. But one of the most important things about this is the extra spell damage that it gives you. That's probably the best. The best out of the whole set. That 214 spell damage is just amazing right there. Boom. So yeah, that's Kraganax Hope. I hope I'm saying that right. If I'm not, then I don't really care. So the reason why I use this is because 9 traits. I can pick any trait that I want with the 9 trait set because it's craftable. So impenetrable is what I picked, and I picked that for every single part of my armor that is craftable. So my shoulders are Graftar also, the Divines. I would go with impenetrable, but Divines does help with the Mundus Stone that I'm using. I am using the Magicka Recovery Mundus Stone, so this does help with the Magicka Recovery on this build. And then I have a Magicka enchantment on there. You guys already know what Graftar does. You guys already know what Kraganax Hope does. Basically impenetrable with a multi-effect enchantment, impenetrable, multi-effect enchantment, impenetrable, multi-effect enchantment, impenetrable. That's what you're going to run through the whole entire thing. And you're going to have 2 of them which are magic. So your shoulders and your head are magic. If you guys don't like this, I would probably put multi-effect enchantments on your head and your shoulders just so you can have more stamina. But I like to have more magicka because I feel I hit harder with having more magicka on. So my jewelry is all burning spell weave. Everything's burning spell weave. I do have all spell damage enchantments on there, and they're all arcane. Yeah, so that's it for the set. Yeah, that's it for the set. So let's go ahead and look at the character sheet of me unbuffed. So my max magicka is at 33,000. My max health is at 19. My max stamina is at 13. Magicka recovery is at 14. Health is low. Stamina is low, but we're not going to worry about that because we're going to be using our restoration staff to take care of us because of the low health recovery. And we're going to be using our CCs to take control of the battlefield so we don't have to block as much and to help us with our stamina recovery. So we do have 1,992 spell damage. We have 35.0 spell crit. We're sitting at spell resistance is 26,000, physical resistance 21,000. And here's the most important part of the build, guys, is having all those traits impenetrable on your armor is going to give you this critical resistance rating of 2,098. Now, the reason why it is so important to have a high critical resistance is to stop those gankers from ganking you. So those Nightblades that like to stay in stealth in Imperial City Sewers and wait for you with a high amount of Telvar just so you can get to the door just to be ganked to get all your Telvar taken away. If you have a high critical resistance like that, that is not going to happen to you. They can go ahead and try to critical strike you, but it's not going to work. You're going to be able to fossilize them, put them in a CC, put some damage on those Nightblades, and be able to get out without being ganked. So that's the reason why I run 2,000. You can run 1,500, but anything lower than that, I would not recommend on this build. So I really like the 2,000, so I'm going to stick with that. So let's go ahead and look at the back bar stats without being buffed. So the back bar stats, I do have more magicka. I have a little bit more spell damage. I don't have any spell critical, and my spell resistance and physical resistance jumps up. Now, remember when I told you defending was the most important trait to have on your restoration bar in the back bar? This is why. It's going to turn you into a tank. As soon as you buff up, all of this is going to turn you into a serious tank. Now, let's see what happens when I buff up. Alright, so on my back bar, when I'm buffed up, I'm above cap on spell resistance, which I need to fix inside the champion point system. But basically, I'm sitting at 34,000, and then I'm sitting at 29,000 on physical. This is going to make you a tank, guys. So you're going to be able to take those world bosses on. You're going to be able to be in the sewers taking on world bosses. You're going to be on in Imperial City taking on world bosses. You're going to be able to 1vx up to 3 to 4 people and be able to sustain all of that damage during this while you're buffed up. It's really good to have. It makes you extremely tanky, guys, and it's just really nice to have, as you can see right there. Let's go ahead to the front bar. I'm gonna have everything. Yeah, let's buff up, move to the front bar. So this is my stats on the front bar. So again, my spell resistance is pretty good, 32. Physical resistance is pretty good, 27. And like I said, guys, this is going to turn you into a tank. You're going to be fighting at close range most of the time, so it is really important to have the high spell resistance and to have the high physical resistance. So let's go ahead and see what active effects I have. I got Vampirism Stage 4. I'm just too lazy to feed. I really don't care. I like Vampirism Stage 4. It helps you with your magicka recovery, helps you with your max magicka, it helps you all your abilities. It's just good to be a vampire with this build. I am an ESO Plus member. I do have the Atronach Stone, which is going to give you magicka recovery back. I am running Witch Mother's Potent Brew, which is a drink. It's going to give you magicka recovery. It's going to give you magicka. It's going to give you health. Then I have the Major Sovereignty, Major Potency with Flames of Oblivion slotted. That's why I have that there. So let's go ahead and run through the skills on the front bar. So Flames of Oblivion on the front bar, it does a nice dot over time. It lasts about 15 seconds, which is really good. But the main reason why you want to have this is because when it's slotted, you gain Major Prophecy, Major Savagery, increases your spell and weapon critical rating by 2,119. Now this is really important to have on the front bar because this is going to be where you're going to be attacking from. So having it on the front bar is crucial. It's going to give you that 33% critical rating. I think that's what I was sitting at on the front bar. Yeah, 35.0 critical rating. You want to try to get to 40, but 35 is okay. So the next skill I have is Engulfing Flames. Now, like I said, we're using Burning Spellweave. So as soon as you put Engulfing Flames on your enemy, they're instantly going to apply the burning status effect. It's almost instantly, every single time. So like I said before, it's really easy to apply the burning status effect on the NPC when you're a Dragonite. So it is going to do a nice dot, lasts about 10 seconds, and the most important reason why I have it is afflicted enemies get 10% more damage from all fire damage attacks. So as soon as you put this on, any other fire attack that you dish out is 10% more damage. So just keep that in mind. Then I have Burning Talons, which is going to put a nice dot on the NPC or the enemy also. But the main reason why I use it is because of the immobilizing effect that it does to the NPC. You can go ahead and put them on the off balance position. You can stun them, immobilize them. You can also use this to proc your Flame Lash, which I'll show you in a second. The next skill I have is Burning Embers. So this is basically a nice dot over time, but also it heals you for the damage that was inflicted. Heals you for 75% of the damage inflicted. So this is really good to use. I'll just tell you a little trick. You hit him with Burning Embers. It takes 10 seconds for that heal to come back to you. But if you need the heal before the 10 seconds is up, just reapply Burning Embers. So you can apply Burning Embers, and then say you are at half health and only 5 seconds have passed, just reapply Burning Embers again, and you'll get that heal back. And it's really convenient to have, guys. It also has a chance to apply the burning status effect on the NPCs also. So it will proc your Burning Spellweave also. Like I said, it's really easy to proc it as a Dragonite. So then we got Flame Lash. You want to put it together with basically combined it with your talons, your burning talons. So burning talons first and then start flame lashing. The reason why you do that is because when you hit them the first time, when they're being held by burning talons, you're going to put them off balance. And then when you hit them the second time, you're going to proc your power lash. So targeting off balance enemies, change this ability into power lash, allowing you to lash an enemy with more intense flame to deal 8,334 flame damage and stun monster for 2 seconds and heal you for 11,724 over 2 seconds. Now that's really crucial, guys, because as a Dragon Knight, you want to always try to be on the offensive. You want to be use burning talons, lash, burning embers, engulfing flames, lash. You know, you want to be on the offensive with this build. And if you are, you're just going to keep getting healed over and over again. As long as you keep your enemy CC'd, you'll keep getting your health back. So Ferocious Leap is what I got as an ultimate. It does do a nice burst. I really like the damage shield that you get at the end of it. The reason why I use it is for sustain abilities. Basically, when you're running out of magic, this ultimate will always be up. As soon as you see yourself running out of magic, just check and see if this ultimate is up, and it usually 9 out of 10 it's up. And then you can go ahead and use that ultimate and just gain a damage shield, gain some magicka back. You can fossilize the NPC or the enemy, whatever you're fighting, gain some distance, and go on the defensive to get your resources back. So it is really nice to have it because it's always up. It only costs 125 ultimate. Now if you combine this with, say, Bloodspawn, it will be even up faster. It will be up all the time if you combine this with Bloodspawn. So that's the front part, guys. Let's go ahead and go to the back bar. I'm going to change this move real quick to Structured Empathy. Alright. So I got Volatile Armor. So Volatile Armor is just going to give you a nice buff with your physical and magical resistance. But also, the reason why I like it, it does put a little dot on the enemy. But I use it for finding Nightblades. That's really the main reason why I use it. So basically what I would do is if I just saw a Nightblade and it just went into stealth, I would run at that Nightblade and I would do this over and over again. And usually this would actually take them out of stealth. And it'll keep my armor buff. You know, so when they come to attack, I won't get ganked. So this is the way I find Nightblades. So that's Volatile Armor. Let's go ahead and keep going with the skills. Then I got Reflective Plate. It does shoot 4 projectiles back, but the main reason why I use it is it's going to give you Major Ward, which increases your spell resistance for 23 seconds, which is really, really good. So as soon as you put it on, boom, you got increased spell resistance. It's awesome to have. Probably one of the best moves to have as a Dragon Knight. Probably one of the most crucial moves to have as a Dragon Knight, because we're the only ones who have it. We're the only ones who have a Reflective Plate that can shoot projectiles back. So then I got Healing Ward. The reason why I use Healing Ward is because the 2 shields that it gives you and the healing abilities that it gives you also. That's the reason why I use Healing Ward. I really, really enjoy it. I just started using it and it's changed my whole entire build. So basically, calling your staff strength to protect you or the lowest health ally around you with a damage shield that absorbs 5,219 damage, while also healing the target for 2,314 health. The shield strength is increased by up to 300% depending on the severity of the target's wounds. So basically, the lower your health is, the better this shield is going to work. When the shield expires, the target is healed for 100% of the shield's remaining strength. So basically, if you put this on and you're running from the enemies or anything like that, because you're in your back bar, you're on the defensive end, once that happens right there, you get healed. You get healed. It's awesome. Love having it. Probably one of the best moves to have with the the restoration staff. Then I got Structured Empathy. Now the reason why I use this instead of Molten Armaments is because it puts a dot on the enemy over time. So it is really nice to have. So you place this on the enemy, and it grants you major sorcery, which increases your spell damage by 20% for 20 seconds. And then also, while it's slotted, your max health is increased by 8%. So it's very good to have. I usually have this as the first or second move that I do after I buff up. Then I got Fossilize, which is just another CC that I use, and this is the first CC that I use. Just basically stuns them, and then it does damage, and then as soon as they break free, it does even more damage. So it's nice. Probably one of the best CCs that Dragonite has. It's better than Talons, in my opinion. But Talons is also good to use, so that's why I use it. So I have Shooting Star on that bar. Now, you have to combine Shooting Star and Fossilize together so you can get the most out of Shooting Star. Basically, so what you do is you hit your Shooting Star, and as soon as you see that circle around your enemy start shrinking, whether the meteor is going to hit them, as soon as you see it about to hit, you fossilize them. And when you fossilize them, that's going to fossilize them into the area damage that it leaves on the floor, the little AoE that it leaves on the floor, and it's just really good combination to have. So yeah, that's all my skills. Sometimes, depending on the situation, I will switch out Structured Empathy. I'll switch it out for Misform. And it's really good to escape in Misform. Let me just show you. So when you're in Misform, you take less damage. You cannot get CC'd. And then also, it puts you invisible also. So it makes enemies, it's harder for them to see you from long distances. And it's easier for you to get in stealth. Now, it's really good to use, guys, when you're 1vxing, especially. So you can get away from all those people who are just trying to zerg you down. You can get out of line of sight, and then get your resources back. That's basically the main reason why I use Misform. But other than that, if I just find myself just basically fighting one person at a time, then I would just use Structured Empathy instead. So yeah, let's go ahead and go to the champion points now. Start off in the tower. I got 30 in Warlord, 1 in Sprinter. Yeah, I just had 1 extra point, so I just put it in Sprinting, so it's whatever. The Arcanist, and then I have Tenacity, so increases the magic recovery by 1450. That's really good. Then I got 61 in there, so that's good. Then I got 15 in Shadow Ward, 10 in Tumbling. I got 6 in Elfborn, and Spell Erosion I got 10. 75 in Elemental Expert. Now, I like to call this the sweet spot, guys, because once you get to 75, it's going to cost you way more champion points to increase it to the next percentage. So 75 is like just perfect for everything. It's just perfect. Then I got 23 in Shattering Blows. I would put a little bit more if I was a higher CP. I would probably make this at least 30 to 35. And I got Master at Arms, which is going to increase your direct damage attacks. Now, Temperatures, this is crucial. The 75 is going to make all of your damage over time moves that much more effective. But also, it's going to give you the Exploiter, which increases your damage done against off-balance enemies by 20%. So remember that Flame Lash that I was telling you about? This is crucial. So once you do your Power Lash, you actually are going to hit 10% more with that. So I got 30 in Ironclad, got 30 in Spell Shield, and I got 30 in Resistance, Critical Resistance. I got 30 in Thick Skin, 30 in Hardy, 30 in Elemental Defender, and then I got 20 in Heavy Armor. Yeah. So yeah, that's basically what I have. That's almost the whole entire build. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can buff up real quick so I can show you guys the spell damage while everything is buffed. So let's go ahead. We're gonna do switch my moves out real quick. Structured Empathy. Okay, so Structured Empathy first. Engulfing Flames. Bam. Okay, it didn't proc Burning Spell Weave yet. Alright, Burning Spell we just got procced. So as you can see, I'm at 3,382 spell damage right there. So I'm pretty sure you guys saw that. When my weapon procs also, it puts me at 3,700. So it's actually really good. So I'm almost at 4,000. Basically, when everything procs, I'm at 3,000. I'm a little over 3,000, which is perfect for dueling. And yeah, guys, that's basically the whole entire build. Oh wait, let me show you the potions that I'm running too. So I am running tri-stat potions. Okay, so I'm running tri-stat potions just so it helps me with the recovery, and it's going to give you magicka, stamina, and health back. But what's really good about it is my magicka recovery right now is 14, as you can see right there. Now when I pop a pop, it's at 16. So it's very, very good. Very good magicka recovery. The magic comes back really quick, especially with the heavy attacks. And yeah, that's it in a nutshell, guys. That's basically the whole entire build. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment below. Hit that like button and please subscribe for more. And I'll catch you guys later. This is For Those Who Died, and I'm out of here.